Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This Season 3, The Asylum Years. The only podcast to lash out at everyone who comes near us and then acts like you're the weird one, which makes you ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Skylar. How are you?
Oh, so boring. The show. This episode was bad.
We are also joined by J Delta. Wagwan.
Wagwan. Yeah, this is a pretty rough one.
All right, during Season 3, we are taking you through the National Wrestling Alliance Total Nonstop Action Weekly Pay-Per-View shows now known as TNA, The Asylum Years. This is episode 19, originally broadcasted on October 30th, 2002 from Nashville, Tennessee at the Fairgrounds Coliseum, now known as the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, allegedly drawing 500 people in live attendance.
No. 200 at very best.
I don't think you guys know how to count people.
What? You
No.
saw 500 people in there?
Yeah, on the side, and it's all over the place. All right, so as per usual, episode 18 left us confused about the direction of the company and the motives of the characters, so let's try to explain why we are the way we are with our crazy past.
Wait a minute. What happened that got you so crazy?
First, in the women's division, originally inspired by Ron the Truth Killing's Miss TNA, Bruce has issued a standing open challenge for $5,000 to any woman who can beat him for the crown of Miss TNA. So far, 4 women have challenged and failed, and since then, it seems as if Bruce has been re-inspired by Ron the Truth Killings and is now going after NASCAR drivers. Next is the tag division. 6 weeks later, Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm are still your NWA World Tag Team Champions. They won those on the 13th show. Which, of course, brings us to many people seem to have personal vendetta against Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris, and why we do not know why. It's pretty clear that the real issue with this tag team, both inside and out, is that James Storm does not have a cowboy gimmick. He's a real cowboy. Very recently emphasized by him getting louder and stronger sounding guns for his entrance. Last in the tag division, while it's not very clear what the B or G stand for, BG James has come to TNA to help his family and his friends. It's been a while since the 14th. There's been no development on that.
But it always changes still, the B and the G.
Yeah,
that's still his gimmick.
That's why I can't change that part. All right, next is the X Division. After last week, AJ Styles is your new TNA X Division champion. Which, of course, brings us to Glory Hog, Disrespectful Pervert, or Simple Disagreement. After 18 weeks, it was both clear and not clear what was going on between AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn. But now, it seems as if Jerry Lynn has all those problems with Sonny Siaki instead of AJ Styles. Even though they had their grudge match, the fight seems to continue afterwards. So
seems like a Jerry Lynn thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a grudge over match.
No,
so.
yeah. I guess it's just Jerry Lynn's problem then, huh?
I think we need to get rid of this guy.
He really is. I'm the only one here who actually did the work. Not all these guys politicking in the back and doing whatever else. I'm the only guy who lives in the trunk of my car. Come on, Jerry Lynn.
Who's plugging it away each night?
Yeah. Dude, you are just bitter.
Last in the X Division, Mortimer Plumtree has found 2 new X Division clients in Ace Steel and AJ Styles. And then lastly, the World Division, your NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ron the Truth Killings, is fighting against clear racial discrimination in the NWA TNA, and no one, including the audience, seems to care. Also, he has begun rapping again. Yay!
Oh, that's the best part. Yeah, he keeps getting beat up by a guy in a white hood. Hello, why is no one doing anything about this?
Nope, nobody cares.
There's so much security. We never see him when this guy comes out.
It's always at the end of the night, and security's tired. They already had to deal with all the shenanigans.
Ron Harris already got yelled at, so he's off.
He's pissed, yeah. All right, next, Grandmaster, Jerry's kid, not Jerry's kid, the puppet, the human yo-yo, the human hot dog, I believe last week was also lonely.
Yes.
And then, of course, the unfocused Brian Lawler is heavily focused on getting revenge on anyone for anything. Currently, one or all of the following are both allegedly, definitely, and definitely allegedly
What?
happening. Number 1, Brian Lawler is abusing April.
Mhm.
Number 2,
No, that's happening.
April is manipulating Brian Lawler.
No, that's happening.
Number 3, Six Pac is in love with April.
Uh,
Number 4, Six Pac forced April to sleep with him.
That's not
Definitely
as
allegedly, but also allegedly definitely.
likely. Those first two, yeah, definitely.
All right, finally, Jeff Jarrett will not be screwed over again like he already has been by Jackie Fargo, B.G. James, Curt Hennig, NWA President Jim Miller, Brian Lawler twice, country music singer Toby Keith twice,
Oh my-
NWA Authority figure Ricky the Dragon Steamboat twice, Scott Hall twice, NWA Authority figure Bullet Bob Armstrong 3 times, NWA Vice President Bill Behrens 3 times, James Mitchell and the New Church, and the Tennessee Titans.
I don't have many fingers. That's so many.
I'm at 20 of screw-ins.
Right, we're almost up to 20 episodes. So
Yo, oh my god.
This poor man.
been screwed more times than there have been shows. And then, allegedly, maybe he may have allegedly maybe tried to kill a few people like Jackie Fargo, Jim Miller, Todd Stone, Bullet Bob Armstrong, B.G. James, Bill Behrens twice, Scott Hall twice, and the entire NWA TNA security team several times.
And yet, you always conveniently forget.
That liberal media.
Convenient! The liberal media would forget to mention when the good guy without a gun stopped the bad guy with a gun, and Jeff Jarrett heroically saved an arena full of people from an armed gunman.
It's true.
Still a hero in that moment.
That's true, no matter how confused that arena was. And last week, we were promised that this week we would see that maybe Bob Armstrong might have an announcement. Jorge and Priscilla would fight Mortimer Plumtree and Ace Steel. Did I not update this? I think I did.
Yeah, that was what they announced.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Storm and Harris defend their titles. I'm out of the game. That's the problem. Six Pac versus Lawler for April. And then Amazing Red versus AJ Styles for the X title. Oh, and then also The Truth versus Scott Hall for the NWA heavyweight title.
What a card.
That's
man.
what we were promised. And then we guessed that Brother Schuyler said we would see the tag team titles would be against the Maximos.
Oh.
And that we would also see Malice and someone versus Norman Smiley. Delta said that the tag team titles would be held up against the New Church. And that we'll probably see Norman Smiley attacked by Malice because Schuyler guessed the Voltron spot last week. So he's probably right about some part of that.
Oh.
And then I guessed that we would see a random X Division match and that Jorge Estrada and Priscilla would be the ones to do the Voltron spot. No dark matches this week, so let's get into it. Let's start the show.
I'm gonna be so upset when they change that.
So Mike Tenay welcomes us to the show on the eve of Halloween 2002 as we scan the crowd and their signs. Of course, here's some of them, the ones that I see. Six Pac has TNA, which TNA stands for totally no talent available.
No talent.
Couldn't you have just gone talent not available?
Well, you'd have to think twice. And I'd go with the first thing you think.
Yeah, he already started writing totally. You
Yeah.
couldn't go back at that point.
What do you mean? N. No, totally. No, I mean, no talent.
I love that because he was like, TNA, total nonstop action. How do I change that? Well, totally. That's different.
Nailed that one.
Nailed it, yeah. So another sign that I see where I kind of liked it, but I also didn't like it, which were heel fans are real fans. But real was spelled REEL, so I guess this is more like a fishing sign.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are fishermen heels?
We like the bad guys, and we like
The bad
bash fishing.
Yes, that's it.
I saw another sign that was just basically, I guess, sort of more like an ad for a local bar that said Wildcat Chris Harris owes Muggabee a big bar tab, and I'm here to collect.
I hope that was legit.
And then right as one of the matches started, I saw the sign being put down real quick. It said America's Most Wanted.
Aha.
I don't know where that came from
Yeah.
or what. Like, I never saw it again during the night. Like, they didn't put it up during a certain match.
Oh, I think I saw AMW somewhere else.
Talk about it later, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe you guys didn't say it.
Nope,
Nope.
I missed it. All right, so segment 1, Kid Cash versus Tony Mamaluke, who are already in the ring.
Boom! We started right away.
Boom,
The show's
boom, boom.
right into the. I love that.
The match starts with some back and forth chain wrestling that ends with a standoff that does not get a respect clap,
No.
and it looks super awkward.
Yeah.
I think even Tony Mamaluke, when he does a stand, he kind of like side eyes, look at the crowd in confusion, be like, "Are they watching? Like, what's going on right now?" Commentary starts cracking and peaking their audio. So, I just want everyone to know that a multi-million-dollar back company from 20 years ago, us, same production value.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Tony Mamaluke, he flops and flails around the ring until he leaves the ring to sell, and then Kid Cash planches him. Back in the ring, Tony takes over and boots and slaps Cash around the ring. It looks awkward as hell.
Yeah.
Like super awkward.
It's no chemistry.
No. Commentary spends the whole match telling us that Kid Cash deserves an X-title match, but he just can't get the win to qualify.
So then he doesn't
How-
deserve
yeah,
it.
what does he have that deserves it?
Submission work fills out the length of this match. Kid Cash reverses a corner throw by jumping up to a seated position in the top rope, booting Mamaluke as he runs in, and then doing a twisting springboard moonsault that's only a 2 count. Commentary points again how Kid Cash is good, but he can't get the win, as Don West says what is basically his own version of how the X Division is like that for everyone. You just gotta keep plugging away.
Did you really say it?
No, but he was like, but that's kind of how the X Division is. You just gotta keep going at it until you win.
Gotta keep plugging it.
You gotta keep plugging away. So more submission work, and during a leg lock, Kid Cash looks directly into the camera and hams it up like,
Yeah.
What felt like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kid Cash reverses an Irish whip and hits a double springboard moonsault off the top rope. 2 again. Mamaluke ducks a clothesline and hits, honestly, a very beautiful belly-to-back suplex,
Yeah.
the double down. During the double down, for no reason at all, the crowd just starts chanting TNA. Like, really loud, like, suspiciously loud.
That was definitely, what's his name?
Borash,
JB.
yeah.
Yeah, Offset. I got t-shirts.
I got it, yeah! Kid Cash hits a move that Tenay doesn't call, so I can't remember the name of it. It's like the money clip of the bankroll. I don't remember what his finisher
Yeah, the
is.
bankroll.
But it's the Fisherman Buster on the knee.
That looks like it hurts a lot. I don't like that
Yeah.
move.
No. But it's only a 2 count, even though I thought it was his finisher. Then we get a couple of pin exchanges with a double underhook power driver by Kid Cash, and that's the 3. Winner Kid Cash. Post-match. It's so stupid to me. Post-match, they roll highlights, which are just 2 spots, including the final pin.
In case you missed it.
Let's see the highlights. There's one, and there's the pin. Yeah, that was all the highlights. Good job, folks. Match length, 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Segment length, 9 minutes and 16 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of this. Sloppy, wasn't a ton of chemistry. They were really...
It wasn't a bad match, but it was a bad match. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
They did all their stuff, and it wasn't tight, but they did it. But I didn't know who anyone was. It
Yeah,
was just 2 guys in the ring
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything with the crowd, so
Right,
I
yeah.
just felt like I could have walked away and they wouldn't have cared.
I don't like Kid Cash as a wrestler. I've said that before.
Okay.
But in this match against Tony Mamaluke, Kid Cash looked great compared to Tony Mamaluke.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the thing about Tony Mamaluke I don't like is, number one, no matter how hard he tries, he just can't seem to connect with the crowd, which is just embarrassing. Like, it hurts me to watch that. But number 2, more importantly, there is always, and I've only seen like 3 of his matches so far, Tony Mamaluke, since he's been here. There is always, I feel like, a part in a Tony Mamaluke match where the match breaks down and it looks like the wrestlers are fighting each other for real. Like, they don't know what the next spot is, and they're really punching and kicking each other, trying to cover up, and it looks bad. And I'm like, ooh, do I need to leave? Like, are 2 men fighting each other, like, right now? Like,
I don't want to feel uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna face the wall.
yeah, ooh. Yeah, I just, yeah. Tony Mamaluke makes me feel uncomfortable as a wrestler for many reasons. So yeah, I don't like him. I don't like Kid Cash. I didn't like segment 1. It's just how it is. All right, segment 2. It's the welcome segment. Mike Tenay, and Don West welcome us to the show as they run down the card. And I want to say right off the bat, this week, everybody has this super cool versus screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm gonna pose off against you, and my fist are gonna do my talking.
Someone got a video editing budget.
Right?
Yeah, the video department did great this week. Audio, horrible this week.
Yeah. So we have Jeff Jarrett versus Curt Hennig in a first-round qualifier match for the number 1 contendership for the NWA World Heavyweight title. Probably just going to call that a first-round qualifier match, because they have a lot of those. We're also going to see the Amazing Red versus AJ Styles for the X title, and the Truth versus Scott Hall for the World Heavyweight title. And then Tenay throws to an interview with Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Tenay says, Hall, what's your experience with the NWA TNA so far? And Hall says, TNA has outlaw spirit, and TNA is too stupid to quit. And I like that spirit and that attitude, and I don't care how bad my Scott Hall impersonation is. So Tenay lays out Hall's accomplishments, and he mentions that he's never had a world title. How do you feel about that and your opponent? What's with these fucking double questions tonight? Every interview, he gives him like these, here's 4 questions at once, go! Just do whatever you want with it. 30 seconds.
Do you think you're going to win the title, and how do you feel about the fact that your opponent just pushed his own mother down the stairs?
Actually, I love that too, because then the rest will be like, well, you know, my match tonight's real tough, but I'll give it my all. And then Tenay will be like, and the stairs? He doesn't let it go. He always makes sure he gets it in. So Hall says, I want the world title, I want the NWA title, but now it's NWA TNA, and it has outlaw spirit. And if you have the title, you represent the company and you run the show. Killings is really, really impressive, but so am I. Tonight, he finds out he's not as good as he thinks he is. Yeah, I know. What, you got thoughts on these 2 segments here?
Waste of time. What was that?
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
I know. I was most upset about how twice Scott Hall mentioned outlaw spirit, but no times did Mike Tenay mention that he was the real outlaw of professional wrestling.
I just don't know what the point of this was. He just put over the company?
Kind of. Because he did say, and I'm quoting here, that they're too stupid to quit.
But that was the point of this interview. He may have not did the point.
Yeah.
But that was the point of this interview?
I think
For him
so.
to put it over? I
like TNA because of these reasons. Like me, they're too stupid to quit.
Like me.
I consider this whole Scott Hall thing,
Debacle?
it's all just one, this is all one segment in my mind. So we're going to keep moving on. This is still one segment, which is next. We get the second match on the card is your world title match.
Okay.
Here we go.
Scott Hall's got to get out of there early.
I guess so, yeah. So here it is. Ron the Truth Killings versus Scott Hall for the NWA Heavyweight title. During the entrance, the Truth takes the mic from JB and raps. It's the same rap that he's been doing, but once again, the second verse is the thing that changed. So, you know, kick and drown me, lame ass rednecks, Nashville, give me respect. I'm the one, blah, upside my I like me now. And then he goes, good Lord, try your luck. You getting tossed. Y'all hillbillies don't want me to set it off. Try your luck. I wouldn't brag. All y'all Nashville trash can kiss my ass. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
And then he cuts a promo. The Truth once again steals Elix Skipper's gimmick by asking, what time is it? Also, tool time.
Truth time?
Vader time?
It's the moment of truth or something like that. Yeah, he says it's like the time of truth. The Truth is the suntan Superman. He's the shiznit. The crowd chants, "You suck." The Truth responds by saying, "If I suck, you swallow."
But then he still sucks then. What are you saying?
Well, yeah, but,
Yeah,
he,
but-
he does the sucking.
Yeah.
And then he takes it in his mouth and he spits it in their
the
mouth.
That's not-
snowballing?
He
Oh,
baby
it's-
birds it.
Baby birds it. Oh, I don't like that. That shouldn't be. Don't ever say
No,
that.
I think snowballing. I think technically snowballing is
Your own?
is your own mouth, and so if they do it to somebody else, yeah, baby birding.
Ugh.
We have to. It's important to make these distinctions.
Yep. So the Truth calls out BG James, Six Pac, and Scott Hall, claiming they're starting rumors that Mr. Wrestling 3 is Jeff Jarrett. But the Truth says Jarrett isn't even focused on his title since the three of you guys showed up and started politicking. So, like Scott Hall says, don't something do the other thing. Bring it. Whatever it is. Come out.
Don't sing it. Don't bring
'Cause,
it.
yeah.
Don't ring it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't king it.
Because he couldn't remember what the line was. He got it eventually, but
Don't bring it and don't sing it. But I guess do bring it.
yeah.
Forget the first part. Do bring it, but
Bring it.
but don't sing. while
Don't
you
put
bring
it down.
That's my thing. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
So Hall enters and says, "Truth, don't mess with the fans because Jeff Jarrett is playing you like one of Ricky Ricardo's bongo drums."
Oh.
That's a reference to a show from the 50s, for anyone who doesn't know.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. It was I Love Lucy. in
Yeah.
case people don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, well, that's because he's Cuban, right?
Who?
Cuban.
Ricky Ricardo,
Yeah.
and so is Scott Hall, right?
Oh, that's the. Oh.
He sure is.
Now I get it. Yo, imagine like that's your gimmick, and you're like, yeah, Cuba, Ricky Ricardo, that one guy from the black and white
That's it.
television
That's all we
show
got.
on Nick and Night.
Our poor culture. We haven't had a single thing since then.
Yeah. All right, the embargo.
Oh, yeah. Oops. All right, he also says, "Don't worry about Mr. Wrestling 3, worry about me." And then a very questionable line, "Give me a dose of the truth."
Oh.
Mm.
What does he want from him
Uh,
exactly?
mm,
We talked about it. It's baby birding if it's
Oh,
somebody
no!
else.
I don't want to hear it.
So the match starts with Hall working the Truth's shoulder and slapping him as the crowd chants, "Go, Scott, go!"
Oh, is
he-
that what they were
He
chanting?
never had a good chant.
No,
He
yeah.
never had a good chant.
It was just the one for 20 years. Like,
Go, Scott, go. I hate it.
Hall locks in submissions until there's a clean break. The Truth takes over, hitting his flipping split calf kick, his scissor kick, and his flying forearm, and a leg drop off the top rope, a couple other things. Hall ducks a leg lariat and hits a choke slam for the double down. Hall hits a fallaway slam, followed by a back suplex off of the middle rope, and then Mr. Wrestling 3 comes out, and Hall beats him up and demasks Mr. Wrestling 3, but the cameras don't see it, and then the Truth hits a front suplex for the 3. Your winner and still NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ron the Truth Killings. Post-match! Although really post-segment, kind of more so, girls dance in cages as Don West agrees with my confusion from last week, where he can't figure out what Mr. Wrestling 3's motives are anymore. They're absolutely gone. It's like Mr. Wrestling 3 is like the DC Sniper Fund. He's here for the truth, but also he's here for the truth, but not like he's not for the truth, he's for the all right, anyway, so the two continue on how they did not see who Mr. Wrestling 3 was. Card rundown all the way to the beginning, a minute and 7 seconds. The interview length with Scott Hall was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. The Truth's promo was 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Hall's promo was 52 seconds. Your match length, 6 minutes and 43 seconds, with your full second segment of the night length being 15 minutes and 15 seconds. Thoughts on this one?
I actually thought this was a pretty decent match. I mean, I thought they had decent chemistry this time. I still hate Scott Hall's fucking lazy ass selling, but all things to consider,
He's not bumping.
Yeah, it was a real simple match, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and
Yeah.
I really don't like the Mr. Wrestling to get demasked just to hide, and
teased me. I wanted to see that. I
Yeah.
thought it was a boring match like the first one, just had different people in it. They did the same thing. Everyone did their stuff. It was tighter than the other two
Yeah, they
guys
had better
did.
chemistry
But
this
they didn't
time.
do anything with the crowd as much. I think Scott Hall did his toothpick thing in the beginning
Yeah.
and laughed,
Yeah.
and like that was it. It was just them doing their moves and walking around, and I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me until that spot happened, and then it was a whatever finish. What did he do? We just
Front suplex.
Yeah,
Clean loss.
because he hit him from behind because
Yeah.
he wasn't paying attention. It hit him that much harder,
Yeah.
and he lost. Yeah.
That's not his finish, is it? Right, Truth?
No.
That sit out front suplex.
I mean, spoiler alert, it is now, but
Oh.
yeah.
What was?
Well, I don't know
was
about
a
now,
cutter?
but yeah, huh?
I thought it was a cutter.
I think it was for a little bit. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No, that was the weird part for me is I kind of didn't like it, and I was confused the whole match, but the audience clearly loved it.
Oh yeah, it was
They
a
were
weird,
hot as hell.
weird crowd. I didn't understand the crowd at all. They didn't cheer when I thought they should have, and they were going crazy
Just
for stuff. That...
Different era, different generation, not us. All right, you guys ready for this? You guys ready?
What is this?
This
What?
is the last time that we see Scott Hall in an NWA, and a TNA, and an NWA TNA ring.
What, that's
Oh,
it?
That's
shit.
it.
That was his last match.
That's the last time we see
Yo.
him.
Oh my god,
Wow.
he's gone.
That's it.
He put over Truth and he left.
That's it. Bye bye.
Like, never seen again on television?
I mean, we don't see him in a wrestling match. He
We
might
don't- he doesn't
come
wrestle
back
again.
and have a promo next week.
Okay.
I do this every time. He doesn't have a match. That's how I do it.
Okay.
I go on cagematch.com and I see when their last match was.
Alright,
He doesn't have any more matches.
Okay.
He might do a promo next week or something, but that's it.
Spoilers, years
Damn.
later, he is booked for a match. Though.
No, he comes back in like 2004 or something like that.
but
Oh.
he doesn't.
But it's but
Oh.
He doesn't have. A
it's
match
not for
on
us.
no.
It's on Impact. We're only doing the pay per view.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're not going to see him.
Oh,
ever
do they
again.
tease the thing? Is that when Nash is there? They tease the thing with Nash and him?
Well, he comes back for the
Yeah.
Kings of Wrestling. Yeah.
But he
No, but he
shows
was
a
a-
match though when he's
for
supposed
King-
to have his match.
Kings of Wrestling.
And then they bury him.
He was only there for like 3.5 seconds, right? He wasn't really there.
The Kings of Wrestling was a 2-month long feud.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one of those. I know wrestling's really weird sometimes. When you watch wrestling, you're like, yo, that was the greatest feud I ever seen. And then you go back 5 years later, you're like, that was a 3-show feud. What? Hang on. There was so much emotion there. What happened?
It was during the era where not much was happening.
There must
so
have
it
been
made
nothing
an
else
impact.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Segment 3. On the streaming version, on Me and You Delta, our version, we cut back to Tenay, and he says, no luck with that video package, so let's go to JB.
You didn't see this?
No, on the pay-per-view only. Do you want to walk us through this here? Is it?
Yeah, they do their normal video package, and they're like, here's the video package of why these two are feuding. Who was it? Curt Hennig and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
And it just starts playing, no audio. And they're like, all right, maybe we'll just fix it. And it just keeps playing and playing and playing for
Like-
like 30, 35
I
seconds.
would say 45.
And they're
yeah.
just like, all right, maybe not. And they cut back. And I forget what they do in the meantime.
Tenay mentions that they're having an issue, and
Yeah.
they go, I guess we're gonna try the video again.
And they wait like 3-5 seconds. And then Jeff Jarrett's music hits. And he just
All
starts
right.
walking out. He's like, oh, I guess it's not going to
Yeah.
work.
Jeff Jarrett's like, nope, I ain't wasting.
Yep.
I'm not waiting for this. Just send me out there.
Yeah, all in all, they waste about 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Mm,
Just weird dead air.
yeah.
All right, so there it is. Jeremy Borash introduces Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett says he's here to say 2 things. 1, he said weeks ago that he would work his way from the bottom to the top to get a world title shot, and now he's in a world title tournament. Number 2, he's putting a bounty on Mr. Wrestling 3. Any info that leads to his reveal will be rewarded. Curt Hennig interrupts the promo, but Jeff Jarrett finishes it anyway,
Yeah.
actually calling him out and pointing it at him. So, as I just said, Curt Hennig is already on the entrance ramp, but his
Yeah.
music plays anyway, because I guess he left before his cue.
Yeah, he was just standing there. I was like,
No.
and people reacted like he just appeared there too. They popped. I was
Yeah,
like, he sauntered out. No one really noticed him.
he's been standing there for the last 15 seconds. Like, it's not...
Yo, am I invisible until my music plays?
Yeah, I wish. So Hennig says, Jarrett, you're a dumb guy. Remember your gimmick in 1993? And your gimmick in 1998? Remember DDP? You're not him.
What? Why did he bring up DDP out
Yo.
of nowhere?
You know what else is dumb? The truth. He thinks Mr. Wrestling is someone in the company. But you and I know better. Mr. Wrestling 3 is you. So you better hide, because tonight I'm going to find you and kick your ass. Goodbye. And then he leaves. Jared promo length, 1 minute and 27 seconds. Hennig promo length, 1 minute and 18 seconds. Your full segment length, 3 minutes and 35 seconds. My only thoughts, why did Hennig leave? Why did he just kick his ass right there? Why did he go hide and I'll find you, because that's my thing. I'm the guy that took down Brock Lesnar at 35,000 feet, and I'm the finder, Curt Hennig.
Yo, I showed you I was perfect at football. I showed you I was perfect at basketball. It's hide and seek time, baby.
Yeah, I don't understand why we have to wait for later for him to kick his ass.
I don't understand what his problem is with DDP.
Why he keeps bringing him up out of nowhere?
We talked about this last week, but his problem with him stealing his gimmick from 1989. It's a long time ago for him to be still pissed off about that, when he was in a company with that guy and could have aired those grievances then. Why did he wait until it was way over him to be like, "Hey, that guy sucked the whole time, huh, everybody?" The camera's on, we can still hear you.
Yeah, it just makes me think, the whole time they were in the same company, Mr. Perfect was just, super passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
DDP would walk by, he's like, "How do you like the stealing the gimmick, huh?" And DDP was like, "Wait, what'd you say?" He's like, No, nothing, have a good day, that's all. Asshole stole my gimmick, that's all I was saying. Oh, now he's gone, he walked away, that figures.
Yeah, you know what I should do? I should start a club full of people with the same gimmicks. Nah, where would I find a jerk like that? Oh, hey, DDP! How's it going, buddy? Nice hair. Could have had any style, huh?
Was Hennig ready to rumble? He was, right?
I think he might have been standing in the background of the
I
shot.
think he briefly appeared as the hero brigade at the end.
Yeah, at the end when all the faces came out and beat everybody down, he awkwardly stepped into frame and smiled for a while.
Yeah.
And just kind of waved a little, but then put his hand down because he remembered he wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, so for the live PPV version only, post-segment, Mike Tenay directs the fans to NWATNA.com and the silent auction. They've received over $20,000 in high bids. However, this week, the auctions are apparently for the Faison School for Autism and for breast cancer awareness. And again, it's like the DC Sniper Fund. It's not the school isn't really for autism. It's kind of more against autism. Well, no, it's not against autism.
Against
No,
autism?
it's not really against autism. Let's move on. Segment 4.
Jeez.
The Hot Shots versus Chris and Rick Michaels, no relation, versus Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris in a 3-way dance for the NWA World Tag Team titles. The match starts with the Hot Shots and Michaels meeting Storm and Harris at the bottom of the ramp. The heels double team the faces, with Storm getting thrown onto the concrete floor and steel barricade, while Harris is thrown into the ring apron and steel steps.
And that's the match. They just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is the point. They both, they're wearing AMW trunks.
Are they?
Yeah, it's
I
a
didn't notice
weird
it.
font, and I didn't realize it at first, but it's this weird AMW font. So I wonder, this is them, they tell their buddy who's in the crowd, no, America, we're pushing a thing. This is what we want to do.
Sure. They could also be doing house shows and doing their own thing on house shows.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so back in the ring, Storm and Harris take over, fighting all 4 men. The heels take back over, but begin fighting over a pin. You know how that works.
Yeah.
The Hot Shots do most of the big spots, a springing back elbow, the double team leg lock roll through into a power bomb / sunset flip type move. Yeah, they get a frog splash, and then the Hot Shots get dumped, and Michael take over and do their double team move, which is the face buster neck breaker combo, which is followed by an elbow drop off the top rope. Not a very good double team move, I don't think.
Was that the one that Tenay erroneously called the first part a double team move and then spent the next 2 minutes. I was explaining the double team move was the first part he did the two thing,
and
then
the
the elbow drop
and
came
then
later,
yep.
and that was the tag team. Dude.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was awkward, yeah.
It was painful listening to the professor struggle to pick his heads up off the ground after. Oh, man.
So one of the hot shots gets pushed off the top rope, and that sets up the reverse wheelbarrow-assisted leg drop off of the top rope for the 3, with your winner and still undefeated and still NWA Tag Team Champions being Storm and Harris. Post-match, 2 seconds after the bell rings, the lights go out, and when they come back on, the disciples of the new church are in the ring.
Finally, something not boring!
Yeah.
It's Slash and
Malice.
Brian Lee.
Oh, we were wrong. Almost there.
They clear house as the lights go back out, or they don't. I'm not really sure.
I thought they did, at
A
least in
couple
the ring.
times.
I think maybe the lights didn't go out, but the camera closed its lens to simulate lights going out, but they didn't go out in the arena. I don't know. Brian Lee chokeslams Storm off of a ramp, or off of the ramp through the table.
Are you sure about that? A chokeslam? Sure he didn't just, like, push him?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? Or he just fell? What was that? It
Simulated
was the
chokeslam.
worst push or anything off of a ramp I've ever seen in my life.
And James Mitchell tells Slash to sacrifice himself, and Slash jumps off of a balcony onto Chris Harris through a table.
That one was a lot better.
Yeah.
Crowd liked it.
New Jack
I
style.
liked it. James Mitchell says the new church are like a plague, and under his guidance, they will do anything they want until he tells them to stop. Mitchell continues with phrasings that indicate that he may or may not be a god. Prepare for the apocalypse, and the lights go out. Match length, 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Post-match length, 4 minutes and 13 seconds, with your full segment length being 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Thoughts?
Now I know why Slash wears those shin guards.
Oh,
When he does that spot,
yeah.
his legs were fine.
Cool.
Also, finally some characters. And by characters, I mean character. And that's just James Mitchell.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
I've been waiting for this the entire show. Because I was supposed to get it from Scott Hall, and I got nothing this whole show from him. Jarrett gave me nothing. Even he came out was like, this is total nonsense action. I'm going to make it quick. So like everyone's going quick and fast and not giving me any character work. And finally he came down, slowed it down, and gave me something to listen to and like give me something to remember. Because everyone's just a dude fighting.
Yeah.
And finally, we get some character after the match with like 2 of the most generic tag teams.
3.
Well, yeah, 3 really, because AMW's not.
They're not really, yeah. They're
Yeah.
still. One of them has a gun, and the other one smokes occasionally. Yeah, I don't understand the like logistics here. Why do these men keep losing to the AMW, and they keep qualifying for a title match? Where's the qualifiers? Why is there no
Well,
number one?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. These guys, we keep seeing the same teams over and over again, and like we know the SATs are around, but the SATs
No.
aren't booked because it's like, well, they're faces, so we can't.
Yeah, or they're X Division exclusives. Like they're
Yeah,
not allowed to tag.
They're literally always in like 5-way dances or 6-way dances.
Yeah.
There's like single competitors in there, but
Right.
they come out as the SATs. They're a tag team. in
That's
there.
the part that
I'm
they
so
come out as a
confused.
tag team and then fight as singles. I hate that. Yeah. And then, of course, the only other thing to think about is where's Malice? Where's Malice?
I was so excited for him to come back.
When's Malice gonna get here? Has anybody seen Malice?
You're lucky, Norman Smiley. Next week.
Okay, you ready for this? Take your pick. Make a guess, because this is the last time that we see Chris Michaels and Rick Michaels
Oh,
in
no
an
relation.
NWA TNA ring.
I was gonna say the Michaels.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
No relation.
Yeah, they're gone.
Good.
Yeah, they added nothing, so.
I hated them actually.
No.
I
When,
mean,
when they
I
first
didn't-
came out, it looked like they were going to have some intensity and stuff like that, but no, it went flat immediately.
yeah, super, super generic.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This match had a lot of super kicks, right? Like 3 or 4 super kicks in it.
Yeah, side crescent kicks.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of weird kicks.
A lot of generic white guys doing side crescent kicks.
All right, segment 5. Mike Tenay throws to himself. And Tenay...
He would.
Tenay has a sit-down interview with Bullet Bob Armstrong, who is joined by Don Harris. Armstrong says the rules are antiquated, and from now on, if a champion chooses to get disqualified to retain their title, they will lose the match and the title. Tenay... What was that?
I love it.
Yeah. Tenay says a lot of wrestlers have complaints about how you give title shots, and Armstrong says the fairest way to do this is with a tournament, and the ref for the tournament is going to be head of security Don Harris.
I love half of it. I'm a big mark for tournaments, but we don't need any more Don Harris.
Both Bob and Mike Tenay clarify, starting tonight, the first round of 8 contenders in the tournament for the NWA Heavyweight title, using the rules mentioned earlier, because that's what the people want, and it means everyone will finally get off Armstrong's back. Post-interview, Don West lets us know the tournament is Curt Hennig versus Jeff Jarrett, Sonny Siaki versus Jerry Lynn, Six Pac versus Brian Lawler, and right now we're going to see BG James versus Ron Harris. Interview length 2 minutes and 10 seconds, segment length 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Your thoughts, or more importantly, who do you think is going to win the tournament? Because there it is.
First of all,
Oh, yeah.
I am a huge tournament mark.
Sure.
How do you say we're going to have a tournament and then just list off the matches? You're not going to show me a bracket? There's no graphic for a I'm so upset by that. Like, I literally wanted to draw it up just so I can see it and be happy.
They were doing the versus screen all week.
I hate it. But, so this is number 1 contenders out of all those names? Who's going to win?
Who's going to fight, presumably, Killings?
BG James?
I guess BG James.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or Brian
Yeah.
Lawler. Or Brian Lawler.
That
No.
sucks, too.
That's all I see. You think Jarrett could finally get it?
I mean...
It could be Jarrett.
I don't think they're going to give it to Jarrett.
Yeah,
He's going to get screwed over
he's
again.
probably the best choice, like, out of all of them, just like, you know, because I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, anybody else, I'd be like, I don't care about these guys.
But then it's heel and heel. So
Yeah.
It's gotta be BG James.
Yeah, they're going to make it BG James. If that's assuming the tournament reaches its conclusion, which I'm only about 50-50 on.
I know.
That's the side bet.
Yeah.
Does the tournament actually continue?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if by next week they're like, well, we're actually going to do the semifinals next week, and then we just never hear about it again.
Gone forever, yeah. All right, segment 6, we get Ron Harris versus BG James in the first round qualifier for the end. Well, the first round qualifier, blah, blah, blah. Don Harris is your referee. Tenay clarifies that they're calling it qualifier matches, but they're basically round 1 of the tournament. That doesn't clarify anything.
Well, I'm more confused
Yeah.
now. Everything was so clear before.
Also, Six Pac is injured, so his match is next week or sometime in the future, whatever.
Mhm.
What kind of injury?
A sex injury.
Oh,
They-
the gonorrhea.
Well, he did injure his hip, so
Oh, pelvic thrust.
too much plugging away.
Gave her the real Bronco Buster.
Ooh.
Busted her Bronco.
What? Huh?
I guess he busted his Bronco.
She
She busted his Bronco. And by Bronco, I mean hip. You guys don't call your hip your Bronco?
Now I will.
Yeah. I'll never forget it now. I'll be in the doctor's office, you know, and he'll be like, how's your hip? And I'll be like, you mean my Bronco?
Yo,
He'll be
my
like-
right Bronco has been on fire.
He'll be like, I see, dementia setting in. All right, so the match starts whenever the timekeeper wants because the ref, Don Harris, does not call for the bell.
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yo.
Yo,
Ugh.
they really couldn't even put this guy in a ref shirt.
Right?
He's security.
I couldn't believe it. He's a special ref. The whole point of being a special ref is that you get to wear the cool ref shirt. But no, for him, apparently it's about authority and power.
Oh man, it's just like they literally like, well, we couldn't find a shirt big enough, so that
Yo. Just like cut the sleeves and like just do the old wrestling
yeah,
gimmick.
that's the only ref shirt we got. If we cut the sleeves,
I believe that. I believe that.
That's the only one.
I believe that.
all the refs share it.
Yeah.
If you cut the sleeves off,
That's it. They'll all look like morons.
Yeah, they're all gonna look silly. It's gonna be all stretched out.
Okay, so Ron Harris starts the match in control, beating BG into the corner. But when Ron Harris goes to strike BG with a closed fist, presumably, Ref Don grabs his hand and stops him from completing the illegal maneuver.
Okay, all right.
And then BG takes over. But when he goes to hit his shake, rattle, and roll, that last punch is a closed fist. So Ref Don grabs the fist and stops the illegal maneuver.
Those jabs weren't closed fists?
Nah, apparently not.
Well, it's not a closed fist if you're only throwing it from elbow distance, maybe? Is that how it works?
Right?
Oh, I don't know.
Sure. Okay, good. Yeah.
I thought it was a closed fist. I don't know.
So so Ron takes over during that distraction because BG argues like with the ref. And then Ron hits a clothesline, he hits some elbows. Then we get a split screen where in the back, Jeff Jarrett is beating up a bloody Curt Hennig.
Out of nowhere!
Yeah.
What the hell was that about?
Security tries to pull Jarrett off, but Hennig is already just slathered in blood. Whew, like they took the whole jar of jelly and just dumped it on him.
What was that? I don't think that was blood.
No. Why make a man bleed for real backstage in a pre-tape segment? Like, just cover him in some red stuff. In the ring, James hits the shaky leg knee drop and gets a 2. BG then argues with the ref, Don, about nepotism, even though it was a clean pin, like a real clean pin.
Yep.
Ron takes over during the distraction again. Split screen again in the back. Curt Hennig's head is being bandaged up as Goldie whines for help, asking Hennig if he's okay.
Oh, that was the worst.
Horrible.
Just hovering over him with a microphone. Can somebody else help, please? How do you feel right now? I'm just like, what the fuck? Get out of the way.
Go away, Goldie. Goddamn. In the ring, BG takes back over, but when BG goes for the closed 10 count punch, like the first 9 are okay, but the last one, Don's like, all right, this is too much. I got to pull you off. And then, of course, he argues again. And then Ron takes over during that distraction. Then Bob Armstrong comes out and he fires Don Harris as a referee. As that's happening, we get another split screen.
Yeah, this was the worst one.
Where Jarrett and Hennig are fighting again in the back. While that's happening, Don Harris gets in Bob's face, saying that he's calling the match right down the middle and that you're just here to protect your son, which arguably is true.
Yo, he was calling, from what I saw, he was calling it down the middle.
Yo.
He stopped his brother from getting punched, and then they continued fighting.
Yeah.
He stopped BG from getting punched, and BG would argue. That was the only thing that was different. BG kept arguing with the ref.
So Bob says, Ron, get out of the ring and come over here. Now. Ron, get back in the ring.
Yeah, he doesn't know anyone.
And Don, get to the back or the both of you are suspended. Yeah, I know. Ron gets in the ring. Bob leaves. Don follows Bob up the ramp. Don turned Bob. Don.
Yo, I'm gonna have a stroke.
I know. Don turns Bob around by the arm twice. Bob ignores it both times. On the third turn, Don punches Bob. Back in the ring, BG rolls up Ron for the 3. Winner of the first round qualifier, BG James.
Horrible.
Yo, I just want to say I don't have respect for anybody who names their child a 3-letter name. Ron's, Don's, Bob's. None of it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, they're all short names. They're like Donald and Robert.
Check the birth certificates.
Ron, get out of the ring.
Ron,
go sit down. Now get on the stairs. Now take your shirt off. Now get back. 2 seconds. Get back in the ring. It's just ordering him around.
So ridiculous. Yeah, post-match, BG James helps his father to the back as security runs to the ring. Match length, 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Full segment length, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. My thoughts here, I don't like the Harris brothers. And of course, it needs to be said, I am so glad that Bob Armstrong kept the Harris brothers apart and stopped them from forming the Voltron.
They tried.
Get over here real quick. Oh, no, I see. Get back in the ring, Ron. I know that move. You guys have any thoughts on this? Or?
Oh, what a horrible segment.
Yeah.
Yo, I like the split screen, but they kept going back to it. Especially when Bob Armstrong was trying to talk and do stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I supposed to be paying attention to right now? What? Yeah, that was too much for me. Yeah. And it was a waste of a wrestling match because I think they just wanted... I think what they're going for is more wrestling to do the total nonstop action, but they wanted that segment.
Yeah.
So they're just like, let's do it during a wrestling match. Well, who can wrestle? You two go out there and wrestle. So they just did nothing while they could have that at the same time. It was like so boring and a waste.
Man, there's something... I don't know. It's hilarious to do... Cut to bloody Hennig. Yeah. Cut away, cut back, and they're bandaging him up. Cut to he's getting bloody. That shit. That's like some fucking. Oh, that's peak comedy right there. That's good. Mainly because I imagine Jarrett walking away the first time, being like, "I'll be right back. You don't go nowhere," and then coming back to him being, "What are you doing? I told you I wasn't done."
Fighting always makes me thirsty. Don't go anywhere. Just him standing at the water cooler. Yeah. So what are you doing this weekend? All right, we'll see you later. You son of a bitch!
Yeah, and I don't know. There's something so silly about like, okay, the special guest, but it's the like rough and tumble security guy who was a wrestler is gonna be the one who's like, nope, you can't throw a closed fist. Like, of all the wrestlers to just immediately stop a closed fist. Really?
Yeah. Suddenly the rules
The Nazi?
Are...
Alleged
okay,
Nazi?
All right.
He just really likes ZZ Top.
Let's just move on to segment 7. Where we get a video recap of last week. Estrada defeats Ace Steel. Mortimer Plumtree is mad and blames Priscilla. Ace Steel attacks Estrada. Priscilla attacks Mortimer, but he flips her off his back and then throws Priscilla to the ground by her hair.
Oh my goodness, the monster.
That's what happened. We get a tail of the tape, and it's time for the match. Once again, I'm so glad that everybody got their own versus screen, even Priscilla and Mortimer.
Yeah.
Little tiny ones in the corner. All right, so Jorge Estrada and Priscilla versus Ace Steel and Mortimer Plumtree in a mixed tag team match. There's a lot going on here, but this time both of the wrestlers, or I should say teams, come out before their music and just kind of stand there awkwardly like goons. And then the Flying Elvis's music plays. So it turns out that the team of Steel and Plumtree were the dumb ones for coming out early, even though everyone came out early.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. And then he's just like, well, we're already out here,
yeah,
so
we'll just stand
we can't
here.
Just go back.
It'd be weird to walk back.
They closed the curtain already. We can't.
And then I'm upset because for some reason this company can't get their own wrestlers' names or announcing right, because we have the nameplate and JB announcing. 2 different ways to announce the wrestlers, both different. Nameplate says Jorge Estrada with Priscilla, but JB announces the team of Miss Priscilla and Flying Elvis Jorge Estrada. And it's the same thing. Steel is with Plumtree instead of it being and the team. It's just like, guys, get your shit together. All right, so we have a promo.
I want to stop you here because I want to ask, at this point, have you guys realized that in the front row in the corner?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I didn't. What?
The cosplay?
The cosplay?
Well, it's Halloween. They're all dressed in costumes.
Yeah, but this particular cosplay.
The guy dressed like Mortimer Plumtree, or?
Dear Lord.
And
Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce.
Yeah. Well, he was just in a dress. That guy really wasn't.
But how did he know?
I don't know. Maybe they're the writers. I mean, also, pick another character they can dress as on this show. How do you dress as Jeff Jarrett? How do you dress as the Truth?
How does the crowd keep knowing what's going to happen before it happens?
It's probably because they can hear the bookers from their seats. The arena is so small. The mics are always open. Every production meeting, Russo comes out and just dumps his folder on the floor, and they pick it up and they're like, all right, well, here's what's going to happen. All right, so Plumtree on the mic, He says that he is a man who does not fight a woman, but he hired someone who was more of a woman than Priscilla. Enter Bruce. Push.
Without a dress.
No, I guess he didn't like having to like pull the dress down all the time, so he's just wearing like a spaghetti top now.
Or may I present you an alternate theory?
Absolutely.
Because most wrestlers are scumbags. Bruce realizes, oh look, there's a young man in the crowd wearing a dress to support me, and it's gonna be way more awkward for him if this one time I don't wear a dress, and he's the only person in the whole arena wearing a dress.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Sure. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. A wrestler saw a fan dressed like him and said, "Fuck that guy."
Fuck him.
That homo-loving loser. How dare he support me and my homo character?
I'm changing my whole attire.
He literally came out in just like a fucking wife beater and trunks.
Yeah, kind of. The female version of that.
I thought it was like a woman's tank top, right?
No, it was a woman's tank
Yeah.
top, but like it was, yeah. All right, so the match starts with, I guess, both Plumtree and Priscilla with both Plumtree and Bruce harassing Priscilla because it's happening off camera, so you don't see it. That distracts Estrada, causing him to hang out of the ring with one leg. So Ace Steel kicks the ropes, and you get a low blow on Estrada. And the ref is like, oh, man. Again, we don't see it. But Priscilla slaps someone, and Bruce runs after her to the entrance ramp side, where Jorge does a suicide dive onto Bruce.
A crazy suicide dive.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
I-
It was over the top
Over
rope,
the
right?
top rope.
Yeah.
Suicide dive.
Oh,
yeah.
my God. Dude, that's...
I can't remember the last time I've seen that.
I can. Undertaker.
All right.
man.
All right.
Good Lord. So back in the ring, Estrada fights both men one at a time, but it's still too much for him. We get a crazy double team move where Steel reverses Jorge's Hurricane Rana, and then Bruce tags himself in and does a one-legged missile dropkick into Steel's powerbomb. It's only a 2. Oh, my God. I have to take this time to point out that the crowd is chanting some really awful stuff right now.
I couldn't hear or understand them. What
Well,
were they saying?
I didn't quite
I would
understand
like
them.
to remind both of you and anyone listening that Bruce is the man's name, and it is neither Bob Saget nor is it Missy. If you can infer from there what's being said, what would be the slur from there? Yeah, that's what they're chanting there.
I gotcha. It's an
Yeah.
F slur.
Yeah, and then an S slur. Don't.
Oh, I can't say that
No,
anymore?
I don't think so. No.
Oh.
At the very least, I'm pretty sure it's like a sex thing. So.
Like baby birding.
Yo, the fans who listen to this are learning a lot about the gay community.
Well, last week we learned that some couples like they'll just like, oh, we're both bottoms. Dang, shucks.
Oh, so long. Nice to meet you.
No, actually, ironically, sometimes it works out with bottoms. It's just the tops,
Ah.
who are apparently very selfish lovers. Who would have thought? All right, so lots of tagging by the heels. The ref does not make Priscilla come in whenever Bruce tags in, so Tenay points out exactly what we're all thinking here, which this is essentially a handicap match. Steel misses a big splash or diving headbutt. I don't know what. It's a double
I
down.
think a headbutt. I'm not sure, though.
Priscilla almost gets the hot tag, but Plumtree pulls her off the apron. Estrada fights off both heels and hits a double crossbody, but it's only a 2. Priscilla grabs Steel's leg, and Estrada hits the trip to Graceland, which this week I think is just a steamroller, because Tenay afterwards goes, oh, and there's a steamroller, like it's not part of the move, like he did with a double team spot for that one. I don't know. Tenay's falling apart, maybe. It's only a 2.
Is he the only person you've ever seen hit the middle rope, the lion salt or whatever, by just walking up to the middle rope and just casually like, whoop, here I go? Like, Didn't run and jump off the middle rope. Just walks up to it and like, what?
It's just confident enough to do a backflip.
Casually, let me just
No
bust this out like
problem.
it's nothing.
Just one person, but he does not do it as beautiful as Estrada, and that's Sabu.
Okay, sure, yeah. No, even then, he does like a spring. He has the spring
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Boing,
He gets himself
boing, Here I
started.
go. I still landed on my neck. Fuck.
Yep.
All right, so Estrada is on the top rope, and Bruce pulls the rope, which makes Estrada fall. Steele hits the twist of Kane, which is a gory special neck breaker this week, as opposed to the gory driver last week. And then Bruce tags in, and he does a jackknife pin for the 3. Your winners, Ace, Steele, and Bruce.
Objectively, one of the worst finisher names ever.
The
Twist of Kane.
Twist of
I
Kane.
don't understand it.
Oh,
Is it like Cain and Abel? Or
yeah,
I
because
guess.
What's the twist?
He killed his brother. That was the twist.
Oh, like Kane and Ace Steele, right? That's the name in the Bible.
Oh, was that his name?
Cain and
Was it
Ace
Cain?
Steele.
Oh, I thought it was Abel. Oh, it's Cain and Ace.
I don't know. You know, religion isn't my big suit, so it could be anything. Maybe it's Cain and Ahab.
They were steel workers. I don't know. It's
I
something.
forget, yeah.
The Bible's silly.
I thought what I said was offensive. Yeah, damn. All right, so post-match, Mortimer Plumtree enters the ring and instructs Steele and Bruce to put Priscilla onto his knee. They do, and Mortimer spanks her as she fights against it real hard. Like, maybe they didn't tell her
This
that spot was
wasn't-
going to
yeah,
happen.
this
They
wasn't
didn't need
supposed
to
to-
do that spot. I don't know why they did
Yeah.
that.
So Bruce and Steele stomp down Estrada until until refs enter the ring, and we fade out as the heels raise their hands.
Great.
Recap
Jeez.
length, the video length was 33 seconds. Your match length was 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Your post-match segment was 50 seconds, which means your full segment length was 10 minutes and 32 seconds. My only thoughts here are, there were way better ways to get everyone over than what we just saw.
Yeah.
Like, way better.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't like the whole gimmick of the match.
No.
I love Bruce because, again, I'm dying for characters on this show, and he's the only, like, big character wrestler. And I love Estrada. I feel like, I don't know if he's the one who puts his matches together. I just love the structure of his matches. I love the spots that he does and when he does it and how he sets it up. It doesn't feel like he's just walking through things.
Dude, I cannot believe that he just casually
He's so good. I love
is
Estrada.
like the most incredible athlete
Yeah.
and can like just I'm just gonna I guess stand here and then backflip across the ring like it's nothing.
After every Estrada match, I just go, what a waste. How'd they do nothing with this guy? Jesus Christ.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's something with him. I have no clue.
I really wonder, like maybe he really just really dug that Elvis get like
He refused to give it up.
yeah. Everyone was telling him, dude, just drop the Elvis thing and just be Jorge Estrada, the phenomenal athlete. And he's like, no. This Elvis thing, I'm feeling it.
Fucking Scott Hall walked past him and pulled a rib and was like, never drop that gimmick. It's going to be gold one day like mine. And he was like, screw you guys. You guys don't know what you're talking about. It's just a rib on him.
All right. After that, in the live pay-per-view version only, Mike Tenay says Jeff Jarrett versus Hennig is planned for right now. So let's get them out here and see if they can even have a match. I don't know why Tenay controls the show, but segment 8, Curt Hennig versus Jeff Jarrett in a qualifier match for the number one contender for the blah, 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 blah. A bloody and beaten Curt Hennig limps out to the ring.
Zombie Curt Hennig.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jeff Jarrett runs down behind him and hits Hennig with a chair. Jarrett screams, I'm gonna hide. You're gonna beat my ass. In the ring, Jarrett hits the stroke, gets the 3. Your winner, Jeff Jarrett.
Jeez.
Post-match, Jarrett gets a chair and goes into the ring, but the NWA TNA security comes out one by one, only to get hit with a chair.
No. That Jeff Jarrett's the strongest man in the world. The first man he threw out of the ring?
Yeah.
Did you guys not see that one?
I
He
guess.
dove out better than Jorge Estrada did. To nobody, though. He flew.
Cartwheel over the top rope.
Holy crap, I couldn't believe it.
Jarrett leaves up the ramp screaming, you're gonna chase me, you're gonna beat my ass, bring it on, Hennig. Hennig tries to follow, but he struggles to stand as the fans chant TNA, TNA, TNA.
Tim
Yup.
JB.
This is what I came here to see. I don't want wrestling. I just want bloody messes in the ring. That's it.
Match length, 1 minute and 14 seconds. Post-match segment was 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and your full segment length was 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Any thoughts on this?
Sure. I mean, you do what you had to do, I guess.
Did you have to do that?
I wonder why.
You thought that they had to do that?
He's a hero!
Oh, Hennig had a gun? Is that what you were saying?
In the back.
I
No
always
one saw
forget that
it.
part.
That's why he came back again.
Told you to put that gun down. All right, segment 9. Tenay says, let's see the video recap from last week, but we go to Goldilocks instead.
Oh, I missed that one.
Goldie is with Jerry Lynn, and she asks, you have a repeat match from last week. Is revenge still on your mind? Lynn says, if you focus on revenge, you'll miss opportunities. I've been a champion before, but the NWA title is the oldest title in our sport. Fulfilling one of my dreams is more important than revenge. Now we get our video recap of last week, where Siaki focuses on the knee, but Lynn perseveres. Post-match, Siaki attacks Lynn's knee even more. Back with Goldilocks, Siaki is, I think, blowing into Goldie's ear.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's really uncomfortable.
Goldie implies that Sonny Siaki couldn't last as long as Jerry Lynn. Siaki says he can keep going and going all night long. He didn't go all out on Jerry Lynn because it's a game. Lynn thinks it's about the title, but the ring is Sonny Siaki's playground, and he's the bully. Try to one-up Sonny Siaki? I don't understand this part. And he'll push you back down Jacob's ladder. Sonny Siaki has left the interview.
Oof, what a journey.
Yeah. Did you guys also go Google Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah, just to see if the synopsis of the film made sense.
Oh,
nope.
Whoa, see, I saw it as like, oh no, it's a thing from the Bible where Jacob built the ladder to heaven. It's another silly thing from the Bible.
Oh, that was a Bible? I thought it was the movie.
Well, the movie came from the Bible.
Did you read the synopsis of the...
I mean, the movie title came from the... I didn't read the synopsis.
What is the thing from the Bible about?
I don't know. I just thought it was from the Bible. I was like, I'm not reading this.
Because the movie thing...
It's a silly story.
Yeah. Because the fucking fairy tales again?
Oh my god. Why do you hate religion?
Because it's so silly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Yeah. Yo, but the movie doesn't make more sense. Like, I don't know what the Bible thing was about, building a ladder to heaven. I don't know what that. Maybe that was the part. The movie didn't make any sense to me.
Wasn't the movie about a fireman or something?
No, you wish. No, it was about a guy who like went and fought in Vietnam, and then like it flashes to years later after Vietnam, and he's like homeless, and his family is like dying and shit, and like everybody hates him, and it sucks, and like he's losing his arm and shit.
Oh,
and then,
no.
And then it's just like, yeah, that's life for you. It sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it sure does suck. You're dead now. And then he wakes up, and it turns out he was being stabbed in Vietnam by some guy, and that was just a death hallucination. So he died in Vietnam, didn't have that life.
Oh.
Which made...
He's gonna stab him?
Yeah. I don't understand.
In Vietnam?
Wait, there was a part in the middle that didn't...
That's what Siaki's gonna do?
No, there was a part... Oh, that's what it was. In the middle of it, he's like, why am I having these horrible hallucinations about Vietnam? And they're like, oh, it's because you didn't go to Vietnam. You were part of this secret experiment where they gave you drugs called Jacob's Ladder, and you think you went there, but it never happened. It was all covered up and stuff like that. And then at the end, it was like, no, that didn't happen. Death hallucination. But that's where the Jacob's Ladder part comes from. It's a drug. So that's the part where I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I must have read this wrong. I didn't. I read it twice. That's what it's about. I don't know.
That'd be great if they just had a match and he tried so hard to beat him and he lost. And he's just like, damn, I lost, and just walks to the back. And then it just flashes to another segment. He's just getting stabbed by Sonny Siaki. Ah! Nope, didn't happen.
Yo. Why don't wrestlers directly rip off the plots of films? We'd love it. We'd love it. You know we would, no matter how bad it was. Yeah, so I don't know what the Jacob's Ladder reference was. Long story short, the fucking 20-minute rant later. I may be religious. It might have something to do with a drug in a film. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those silly stories.
Yeah, I don't know. Something didn't happen here. Something from the Bible, something from Vietnam. I don't know.
I don't know. It's all drug related. All right, so Sonny Siaki versus Jerry Lynn in a first round qualifier match. Honestly, like, for real, like, let's just skip it, right? It's a long, boring match, isn't it?
Ugh.
Like, I love Jerry Lynn, and Siaki's kind of cool, and they do some things in here, like, they do this one part where they expose, like, their own, like, poor booking, where Don West is like, yeah, this is the match we should have had last week, and it's like, why? Why would you say that?
Whoops. Wasn't that good last week.
The crowd chants Rocky ripoff at one point. Like, that's Siaki.
Oh.
Like, they don't like him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm just, like, flipping through this real quick. It's like, some neck breakers. Like, he works the neck a lot, right? Is that what I'm remembering?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, it's a long, boring match. Holy shit. Like, I know I said that twice, but it really is.
Because, again, they just go through their moves. They're not, like, working towards anything. They're not doing crowd work too much. They're just doing stuff.
I'll just jump towards
boring.
the end here. What do we got here? Here we go. Lynn hits a house of fire, but the crowd is really not into it because the match was long and boring. Like, it wasn't very good. TKO gets a 2 for Lynn. Lynn does the cradle pile driver, but Siaki reverses it, and he hits that body slam into a cutter that looks like Siaki's taking the bump.
I hate that move.
And I swear to God, it had a name like 2 weeks ago, but it doesn't now. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Only a 2 count. Siaki calls for the Siakalypse, but Lynn pushes Siaki into the ref, and the ref, he gets mushed hard.
Yeah.
Like, so hard, I expected him to blade. Like, I legit, expected him to come up bloody and be like, oh.
Looking like Curt Hennig.
Yeah.
I loved when he set it up just today. Setting him up now for the Siakalypse. That's like apocalypse. Like, thanks.
Thanks, Siaki.
Thanks, Professor.
Today, yeah. So, Siaki hits a low blow and gets a chair, but Lynn ducks and then kicks the chair into Siaki's face. There's still no ref, so Lynn puts the chair and goes to use it again, but Siaki reverses it and then DDTs Lynn onto the chair, kayfabe-wise anyway, because it didn't really look like he hit it in reality. Siaki wakes the ref up, and he goes for the pin, but it's only a 2! Oh my God.
Why is it only a 2?
I don't know.
Continue.
I know. A drop toe hold, and Lynn's face goes into the turnbuckle. Siaki puts his feet on the second rope during the pin, gets the 3, winner of the qualifier match, Sonny Siaki.
Why that, not the DDT?
Immediately after the DDT on the chair, he does that.
I know.
Immediately.
So, but he cheated to win and then had to cheat to win. Like, we just have to put Lynn over so much so we can, you can hit this guy with a chair 4 times and he won't go,
Yeah.
Post-match, Jerry Lynn attacks Sonny Siaki from behind as he poses on the top rope, knocking Siaki out of the ring over the top rope. Lynn beats Siaki up the ramp and throws him off of the ramp into the guardrails, similar to how Lynn was. And Lynn shouts, "This is your playground? I want to play!" And we fade out as Siaki sells. Interview length 1 minute and 4 seconds. What interview? I don't remember that. Recap.
That was Jerry Lynn's interview.
Recap video length 58 seconds. Siaki interview 1 minute and 18 seconds. Full match length. Oh my God, 15 minutes and 1 second.
Oh my God,
dude, it was so long.
Really that long?
It was so long. Post-match segment was 1 minute and 22 seconds, which means your full segment length was 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that it was a long, boring match, there was a part in the beginning that was kind of good, the part at the end was kind of good, but in the middle, Siaki slowed it down with submission work, and it sucked.
Yeah.
A lot of the work that Siaki did on Lynn was just not great.
No.
Jerry Lynn's
He's really generic.
Yeah, that's the
Siaki.
problem. He's green. He doesn't know what
Yeah.
he's doing.
It's weird that he's generic, but also everyone's like, oh, you're ripping off The Rock, that most charismatic man in the business.
That's all promo work. He doesn't know what to do in the ring with it, though. He has no charisma in the ring.
Yeah, he's real lost.
Yeah, he needs Jerry Lynn or someone to hold his hand throughout the whole match. Otherwise, he's just gonna be like, there was one point where he hit the suplex, and he just started walking around.
And
Jerry Lynn's like, pin me, pin me, pin me. And he dove for the pin. And I was like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, he needs someone to hold his hand.
Yeah, like he actually started walking towards the corner to go for the wrong spot. Yeah. When Lynn was in control, it was okay match. Good match. It was a Lynn match. Second Siaki took over, it was like, bro, you don't know what you're doing.
And so, last week, Lynn had like an injured leg that he was going after.
The injured knee, right.
And then the match ended and he attacked it more.
Right.
But now it's better.
And then this week, it's not injured at all.
Well, I
100%.
I skipped everything, but in the beginning of the match, Lynn like dances on his knee and like
what? That was
softs. He
Did you see that?
he soft shoes around. Yeah.
What was that dance move he did?
It was an offensive one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it? Oh no, Jerry Lynn. Is he hanging out with the Harris brothers?
He might be.
Yeah.
Oh. Do I have to hate Jerry Lynn now?
No, probably not.
You don't have to, but you can.
Yeah. This is America, so
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, hate everybody. This is America.
So for the live pay-per-view version only, post-segment, Tenay sets up the next segment by asking Don West if he's ever seen anything like the love triangle from last week. Don West struggles through saying no. And Tenay says, well, let's review what happened last. And he can't even finish it before Don West is like, okay, yeah.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Because he's like, you ever seen anything like that? And Don West is like, it's when your life is, it's got a lot of stuff. Why don't we check? Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if Don West maybe had some horrible love triangle experience that traumatized him.
Well, when you find out that your cousin isn't your cousin, and technically you can do whatever you want, it's look anyway.
No, I haven't. No.
The answer, of course, is no, Your Honor. All right, so segment 10.
Oh my God, this fucking promo.
We get horrible, bad soap opera music that plays as black and white, extra grainy film, like a mask, covers last week's footage of April and Six Pac kissing on the ramp, which costs Brian Lawler the match. Brian Lawler cries after the match. Six Pac says he is legit into April. So, of course, Brian says he doesn't want her. April says that she loves Brian and that Six Pac drugged her and forced her to do all that stuff.
I remember all that happening. I don't remember any of that happening in the promo or in the actual video package because I couldn't get over the fucking old grainy thing and the music. I was like, what is this horrible music they're playing?
I mean, they were right. Like, that's the tone that's being set by the segment, but... All right, so we get a promo here. Goldilocks is with Brian Lawler and his girlfriend April. Goldie asks for a relationship update. Brian says there's never been more love between him and April. Six Pac is slime. April wouldn't even put her feet on Six Pac.
Ooh. Go on.
Yeah. I'll show you the status of our relationship. And April and Brian make out, but the camera zooms in on April's face and she's bored and sort of like disinterested, just kind of staring off, being like, whenever this is over, sure.
Yeah, she's a bad actress. Yeah, I get it.
JB introduces, this is in the ring, JB introduces Brian Lawler and April. Lawler dances to ringside with April, and the two make fun of fans. A fan pushes Brian Lawler, and Lawler gets in his face. The fan pushes Brian again, so Brian punches the fan in the face and pulls him over the guardrail and beats the blood out of him.
I wasn't sure at first.
I know. I know. 6, I don't know why I have a number here, but 6 security guys drag the fan halfway up the ramp before realizing that they should probably go down the side of the ramp and not like accidentally glorify this by bringing him up Commentary plays it up like Brian has snapped and he might get sued. On the mic, Brian says, because of assholes like that, you don't get to hear what I had to say. He challenges other members of the audience to a fight and eventually leaves. Recap video length, 1 minute 44 seconds. Promo length, 1 minute 48 seconds. Brawl length was 36 seconds. And your full segment length was 6 minutes and 37 seconds. I'll say it. I'll be the dummy for the two of you and say it out loud. I had to go back and watch it twice before I realized that the fan was holding the gig in his left hand the entire time.
Oh.
The whole time. Before Brian even comes out, you can see the fan is death gripping that fucking blade to the point where actually, when he gets pulled over the ramp, he's holding it and he pulls it in to protect himself and cuts his own arm with it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah, I didn't realize until I went back and watched it and realized, because it was the way he was bloodied, I was so confused, and I think it was just like a horrible, sloppy gig job where the guy gigged like inside of his eyebrow and like
I wasn't
on the edge
sure
of his
if
nose.
he did that or if the glasses cut into his face when he landed because he
maybe.
was wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless of whether or not it was a bad blade job or he legit got hurt by his glasses, there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
I think way more than what was planned, which looked good for them, but it looks bad for human beings. Like, it was just, oh my god. Like, yeah. And it's like a catch-22 where it's like I don't know how I say that I don't believe TNA could put forth this convincing of a work
Right?
for it to not be real.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, I don't know, they would do something this trashy. They would have a fan gig himself.
It's like the best I liked Brian Christopher.
Hey, we'll give you a t-shirt if you...
Yeah, dude. Look, I'll give him credit where credit's due. Probably the most convincing plan I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't think I've ever once went to a wrestling show, saw a guy jump the rail, and went, oh, that might be real. Like, you might need to call an ambulance right now. Yeah, but also, like, at the same time, it's like, I don't... Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Dude, when I do that, when I go like, why? The best I can do is, if this were real, bro. If this were real, eventually a mouthy fan would get punched. If this were real, bro.
I guess maybe you had to give April a reason to why she stays around him, and maybe she's into like...
And she's afraid.
No, she's into him picking fights with people. And
That's the message you got?
Well,
maybe.
no.
I'm
the
trying
look
to figure
of
it out.
abject horror from
That's
her
how it
face?
was originally. If you remember in the beginning, she was like, he took my picture. And he was like, get out of here, you punk, taking her picture.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought was
So
happening.
yeah, it might be like she gets off on that.
See,
But at the same time, she didn't instigate anything. The fan pushed him and he was like, leave me alone. And the fan was like, fuck you, I'll push you again.
Yeah, so it was just to show you how angry he is.
And as they're leaving, she has kind of a look of like, oh man, this is messed up.
I
It was
think
regret,
maybe
yeah.
Russo's trying to go for something deep like that, where he has the promo, and he's like, everything's great, nothing's been worse, and he just loses it on a fan, so obviously he's not all great. I think that's maybe what
That's
they're going for.
complex, but yeah.
I think, that's Russo.
That's Russo, yeah.
This were real.
It's the only thing I come up with. If this were real, bro. If this were real, then what would happen? Yeah, I know people laugh at that a lot, but also, no, that does make a lot of sense. Like, it's not terrible for booking ideas. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right. It is time for our main event, which means that it is time for the best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Our favorite hour! The Troy McClure hour. Oh, hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such basic life advice videos as Rustic or Run Down, the reality of real estate. My mother smothered me, but that won't affect us, Dating Men 101. Or Don't worry about it, or you're fired. Dealing with corporate secrets. Today, we're here to talk about red flags, big and little. All right, so unfortunately for you people out there that really like the information portion of the show,
We're all caught up.
yo, I have told you many times before, both Amazing Red and AJ Styles started their career in 1998 and have done nothing noteworthy until now. This is their big break. They don't have anything.
This is where I discovered them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we? October? So ROH started like 3 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot going on right now. All right, so segment 11, The Amazing Red versus AJ Styles for the X Division title.
Oh, finally a good match.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, then I guess you didn't notice this thing right out of the gate,
What?
right out when it starts.
What do you mean?
AJ Styles gets into the ring and he tells the Amazing Red to get out of his way. But he doesn't say get out of the way. He says, get out of the way, Bob Saget.
Oh, not again.
No.
Yeah.
AJ.
As clear as a hard cam is right on him, it is hard not to notice it.
Why is he this way? He's so southern.
Oh. All right, so the match starts with arm work that ends with a nasty kick to the back of the head by AJ. Tenay says the old cover-up. The Amazing Red does his talking in the ring. A series of pins that all end in 2, which end with a receipt kick by Red. We're all caught up now. So AJ goes for a springboard and Red drop kicks AJ out of the ring mid-jump. Red follows up with a jump to the outside, but AJ moves, but Red catches himself and then jumps for a Hurricane Rana off the apron, but AJ stops and alley-oops Red back onto the apron, and then Red hits a mule kick followed by a suicide senton.
Oh my god.
What a
so
great segment.
Yeah.
Such a good spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, it got me because I was expecting mule kick, acai, or springboard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this motherfucker's across the ring
Yeah.
and hitting
Full
it.
Oh, that was
Screaming.
perfect selling.
Dude.
He sold back and then turned it right as he was. Oh,
Beautiful.
So back in the ring, AJ reverses an Irish whip into a gutbuster, a gutbuster drop, which is followed by a very beautiful brain buster. Both get a 2 count. The Amazing Red goes for the Code Red, but AJ gets out and turns it into a suplex, but then Red crawls down out of the suplex and turns back into a Code Red for a 2.
that was a good one,
Yeah.
too. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's so good, I know. AJ hits his reverse springboard DDT. That's a classic in every
Beautiful.
match. Red ducks a heel kick and lands a tilt-a-whirl DDT for a 2. Beautiful. A pin reversed into a pin reverse into the Styles Clash. But Red has the ropes, so AJ sit-out powerbombs him away from the ropes
Really good
for a
spot.
2 count. Yeah.
A wicked power bomb, too.
Yeah.
Red ducks the clothesline, and then AJ does the same, but then hits his own super kick. And yeah, I'm sorry, because this match is so good. Like, a nanosecond before that happens, a fan stands up on hard cam when nobody else is standing up and screams something very specific, but too long to understand. But it's just so distracting. I couldn't. He just stands up and he goes, it's something like, he goes, "Hey, old lady, something wants a heavier something. And I'm like, old lady wants a what? Heavier? I presume because of the phrase heavier, he wants somebody wants heavier hits or something. Like, but I don't understand what the old lady underwear hits heavier. Like, I don't know what.
I think that guy might have been having a Vietnam death hallucination in the audience.
Old lady McGovern sent me to Vietnam. I never volunteered.
It all made sense.
Ah! I thought we were lovers. All right, so Red fights out of a front face lock, and he smacks AJ around the ring and sweeps his legs and then hits the Red Star Press, only a 2. Red reverses the Styles Clash into a Hurricane Rana, it's a 2. AJ hits this crazy fucking crucifix powerbomb into a DDT.
Woo!
Holy shit, it was insane. Plumtree grabs the leg on an Irish whip, which lets AJ hits the discus clothesline, and then AJ goes up to the top, but Red grabs the ropes, and AJ gets crotched. Red goes up for a Frankensteiner, and after a struggle, hits the Frankensteiner pin off of the top rope, but AJ rolls through with the pin of his own, and that's the 3. Winner and still NWA TNA X Division Champion, AJ Styles. Match length, 12 minutes and 38 seconds. Full segment length, 15 minutes and 22 seconds. Great. And when I say great, I mean fantastic match.
One of the greatest so far out of all the episodes.
Absolutely, yeah. Your thoughts on this?
I just said it.
One of the best matches TNA.
Yeah.
Maybe the best match TNA has done.
I did think
so
the
far.
The end spot was a little convoluted, maybe.
Maybe, but I kind of liked it.
I didn't hate it, yeah.
Red was almost getting the victory, finally getting the better of him, but AJ still proved that he was the better person. Rolled him up, wrestled.
Yeah.
But I really loved the whole beginning where they were trying to one-up each other, and then AJ showed him he was better, so he was cocky. Then Red really tried hard and got him back, so then it was a real good contest, but then AJ was just dominating the whole time until he started slowly trying to get momentum back, and people were getting into it. I thought it was really great. There was nothing bad about it. They built it. There was a story.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Too good. Too good for for the card. Too good for the card.
Yeah, it's what, I mean, this was a shorter match than Siaki versus Lynn, but it had, everything that match was lacking.
Yes, everything.
All right. The last segment, one more, we squeak in there. Segment 12, we get Don West's super pitch.
Doesn't this usually come before the...
Yeah, out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this.
They do it here and there, Sometimes they do it after the main event, and then Jerk comes out and fucks shit up, Next week, we're going to have a table elimination match with Kid Cash, Tony Mamaluke, Ace Steel, and the SATs for a shot at the X title.
Stupid.
We just said about the SATs being in singles matches, kind of, or whatever, singles competitors.
We're also going to see Jorge Estrada versus Bruce, and if Estrada wins, Priscilla will become Miss TNA.
Okay.
Sure, that's not how that works, really, but all right.
I don't know where that came from either, because, he just lost. Bruce just won. Why would he have to put his crown up now? Or their crown up now, whatever.
Nothing makes sense.
We're also going to see AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn for the X title.
Oh my god, really? Again?
I don't know why. He just lost his match, didn't he?
Yes, that...
Oh my god.
Whatever.
If this pitch weren't happening immediately after this match, I would say Jerry Lynn saw that match and demanded that he get to wrestle AJ next week to have a better match, but...
We're also going to see Hennig versus Jarrett in a grudge match. And then another... Well, it's not a first-round qualifier.
They both had a match, so
the second...
I'm pretty sure he says it's BG James versus Sonny Siaki in a first-round qualifier, even though it's a second-round match.
They're all first rounds.
We're having a first-round tournament!
Until it's the last two guys.
They're the number one contendership.
And eventually it'll be the last first round, and they'll win.
So, well, all that, it's going to be the best show ever. And then Tenay says, you'll see all that and more. See you next Wednesday. And then we fade out.
Ooh, I didn't like that. I didn't like it ending on that
So
note.
who would Jarrett's opponent be? Because we're getting one of the next rounds in BG James versus Siaki. Would it be... Oh, I guess Jarrett would get whoever won between... Six Pac and Lawler?
I guess, yeah, that's the way they want to do it.
If that's going to happen.
Who's to say they could jumble up in any direction,
Yeah.
That's why they won't give me a bracket.
Yeah, all right. Bell to 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 bell. 62 minutes, or an hour and 2 minutes and 1 second on this hour and 53 minute and 34 second long show. I think I forgot to write down how long the unedited version was, the PPV version. But it's not much longer than this, honestly. It's
an hour and 55.
Yeah, maybe.
It's an hour and 57, I believe.
57, was it?
It's an hour and 57.
Yeah, it wasn't too much longer. That's how long they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys have any show thoughts? Collectively?
I mean, it's almost hard to say if the main event was that good because it was just surrounded by shit.
Yeah.
But I think it was that good. but the rest of the show was really, really, really bad.
No, I didn't think the show was really, really bad. I thought the show was not great. Like, I thought it was like an average or like an
It's
okay
really
show.
bland.
That's true. There was no Slick Johnson referee. There was no Disco Inferno, so it wasn't bad.
It wasn't
just
bad.
Boring,
the wrestling,
kind of.
like we had Jerry Lynn versus Siaki, which wasn't a bad match. Jerry Lynn was just
they were doing
boring.
their thing. Just
I was just bored throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, so the first match, it wasn't a bad, Kid Cash is not a terrible, it's exciting, but also it's like, I don't want to see, it's boring, it's a little, it doesn't pop me.
Yeah, he's done all the stuff already.
Yeah.
This is episode, what, 20? Something like that?
It's fine, do the same moves over and over again, that's fine, but creative ways.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
To
Like,
Yeah.
mix up the matches, mix up the structures.
Yeah, and
The tag match, the stupid Michaels and Michaels.
I know,
and-
man.
yeah, I hate those guys.
It was so predictable from the start, and I was like, I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And then, at this point, like, I don't know what the hell's going on with her, but, like, each week, Athena shows up, collects ring jackets, has easily the most unique costume on the show.
I saw her walk by this time, yeah.
Every single week, it's a totally different outfit, brand new. Like, I don't know how much she sucks on the mic. I don't know how much she sucks in the ring. I don't know if she's a terrible person, but get her in front of the camera, like, because she's interesting to look at, which is so much more than you can say.
And people
for half
keep
the
bringing
people.
signs for her.
Yeah, that too. She already has a following. Make money off of her. It's right there. All right, so why would you make this? According to Jerry Jarrett's book, The Story and Development of the NWA TNA, a new concept in pay-per-view programming. After last week's show, everyone had a meeting with Dixie Carter, and it seems that Russo and Ron Harris have been working with Dixie behind the scenes to remove Jerry Jarrett as booker. This offended Jerry, and he's thinking of quitting. So it's
Wow.
working.
Yeah.
Also, Hall is having wife problems. Brian Lawler hurt his neck last week. That's why he didn't wrestle this week. AJ Styles hyperextended his knee during a house show. Not sure why he gave us the best match of his life then.
Yeah.
Six Pac dislocated his hip. That's why he's not here.
Whoa.
Bronco.
And then yes, sorry. Six Pac dislocated his Bronco. And there's no announcement on this, but I am presuming Low Key is still injured because he injured his knee a while back, and that's why he wasn't here. And we haven't seen him since, so it must still be injured.
I guess he did that in Japan.
On top of all that, because Jerry Jarrett is preoccupied with all of this Panda Energy executives and like the Russo, subterfuge behind the scenes BS, he is having to ask other people to produce the show for him now, which include Mike Tenay and Mortimer Plumtree producing the interview and backstage segments. And then also you had people like Bob Ryder producing a match, and then Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles, and Storm and Harris also being their own agents. So they're producing their own matches too.
Good. They should.
Yeah, I know.
They could tell.
Yeah, I wonder which one Bob Ryder did. Which of the terrible matches did he put together?
Estrada's match.
Yeah, all right. All right, so guess the card again. Not that we need to, because it's always right here in front of
They
us.
literally gave us the whole card.
A table elimination match between Kid Cash, Tony Monologue, Ace Steel, and the SATs for our next title shot. Jorge Estrada versus Bruce. If Estrada wins, Priscilla is Miss TNA. Styles versus Lynn for the X title. Hennig versus Jarrett in a grudge match. And then BG James and Sonny Siaki in a tournament match, whatever they're going to call it. They'll probably fix it next week. You guys have anything you want to see on top of that?
Norman Smiley.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't disagree with you. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'll
surprised you
support it.
keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I want to see the return of Malice.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see. The new church better show up next week and just not vanish. I at least want to see the new church, even if it's just a promo or something.
Right. And then I would like to see a Miss TNA crown change.
To Priscilla, though?
Well, just in general is fine by me. Maybe he wins the match and then he's like, I want another challenge.
You have no women. Just have Jorge win it. Then he could be the king. He's Elvis. This isn't hard.
I know. I also have written down here that I like to see some sort of fire, and pyros don't count.
Like, you want someone to be set on fire? You want,
Or
like, a
maybe like
table,
burn
or-
another Elvis suit,
I
something
wouldn't
like
expect
What if
whatever.
someone
that.
like smokes a cigarette? You just see the lighter.
Hey, that's fire,
Well,
right? The Dups were doing it. That was fine with me. Where's all the fire?
oh, the
More
Dups.
fire, please.
Ugh.
All right, so please join us for all of that. And if you enjoyed this show, consider giving us a like or a 5-star review or sharing us with your friends. Definitely the sharing part. The other part, whatever's the flavor of the week for making us valid on TV or on the internet. I think it's not even you at this point. I think we have to make shorts in order to get recognized now, like on YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, like the viewers can't even do anything. They can like and like upvote and all that stuff on YouTube. Like, that's cute. Yeah, make shorts. No, then you suck.
I guess that's why every channel I'm subscribed to has been
Yeah,
pumping out 30-second videos
yeah.
recently.
Because YouTube Daddy's been telling them to. Yeah. Also, it might be money's money. Somebody watches an 8-second video, you get so yeah, subscribe to the YouTube, which again, I'm still working on those videos. That's not a lie. I'm definitely working on them. They're getting more and more complete. I am surprised at how complete they're getting, but aren't reaching the end. I swear to you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I didn't know something could be this close to being complete without making it. But...
Dude, I was editing a video yesterday and we made a joke about bad blood and good blood, and then I went and like Googled something that could represent bad blood, and I found a film called Baby Blood, and I watched that film all day and didn't edit the video. And then afterwards I watched the film and went, yeah, that is a good film. I can use that as a picture for the phrase good blood.
All right.
And that's how, quite literally, 4 seconds of the video took 3 hours to edit. In case you were wondering the process behind the scenes, that's why. That's
Get
why.
it now.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I occasionally work 12-hour days. So, just take a big knife and fuck me with it. I guess why not? Me need a money. Lots of money. Need a money. Go to the Patreon. Patreon.com/whywouldyoumakethis. /whywouldyoumakethis on a lot of websites. Intro music is an edited version of Falling After Love by Kill Paris for Brother Skylar and J Delta. I am Jimmy Time. Please remember, without the mistakes of others, we would be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.